All right, as you probably know, my family and I are going on an epic 48 state road trip this summer, and I'm going to be detailing the itinerary here of where we're going to be going. Now, I'm breaking this up into 4 videos because the country is massive. This is the first leg of the journey, and it has a few distinct characteristics. Number 1, we are traveling with my in-laws, so Caitlin's parents are going to be along with us. There is a family event at one of the stops, and we built this sweet trip around all of that. And I'm excited that they can come and build the memories with the grandkids and with us. Plus, I'm not the most street smart traveler in the world, so it is reassuring to know that I have some wisdom with us in the car just in case something goes wrong. Now, the second distinct characteristic of this part is it's the Western United States, and these states are huge. So we're really covering one state a day. Sometimes we're spending multiple days in a specific state. There's a lot of time in the car. We're going to spend a lot of time listening to audiobooks and trying to figure out how to keep us all sane on these long road trips. Now, the third thing that I'd like to bring up about this part of the trip, but it also applies to all of the legs of the trip, is our partners at Family Travel. They have been absolutely incredible, and I don't know how to express this through a camera here. They have helped us through every stop along the way. So all of our hotels, all of the adventures that we're going to try, they've helped book everything. They've helped get everything set up. They specialize in all things Disney and Universal. So we definitely have a couple of stops of that where they have made this an unforgettable experience, and we haven't even started yet. So I can't thank them enough. If you are looking for any help when it comes to a travel trip, whether that's anywhere in the country, they have 450 agents all over the country. So whether you want to get an agent that's in the state you're going to visit, or you want to do international travel, and especially anything Disney, you got to reach out to Family Travel. Our first stop in this journey is Glacier National Park. It's about an 11-hour drive from our home. Hopefully we can all make it there without too many meltdowns. We do have a little bit of a strategy here. So one of the viewers gave this to me. They said that when they took their kids on a trip, they gave them a roll of quarters. So each of the kids got a roll of quarters. And anytime that they complained or they annoyed their sibling or they said, "Are we there yet?" they had to give up one of their quarters to the parents, or if they hurt a sibling, they had to give the quarters to the sibling. And then at the end of the trip, they got to keep the quarters and spend it for whatever they wanted. We have that going for each leg of the trip. So leg 1 has its own roll of quarters for each of the kids. It was kind of weird going to the bank and walking out with $120 worth of quarters. They're heavier than you would think. So at Glacier, we're super pumped to see nature there. There's the Road to the Sun, which I hear is absolutely incredible. We are a little bit nervous for bears with all of the stories that we're hearing about the bears. So hopefully we make it out of there okay. But the wildlife, the scenery, everything that's going on with Glacier, I've never been there before, but all I hear is amazing things. From Glacier, we're going to head west, and we are going to cross through Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I've never been to Coeur d'Alene. I hear it's amazing, so I'm excited to see that. I am a golfer. We aren't going to be golfing on this part of the trip. I don't know how my in-laws and my wife and kids would feel if I snuck off to golf, especially with the 6 or 7 hour drive we have from Glacier to our next destination, which is Moses Lake. And we do pass through Spokane, Washington. Go Zags. We do pass through Spokane, and then we end up at Moses Lake. There's supposed to be a water park at Moses Lake that is going to be fun for the kids. From Moses Lake, we continue heading west until we get to Mount Rainier. Now, my favorite comedian of all time is Nate Bargatze. He has a joke about his visit to Mount Rainier and a dead horse. So we are pretty excited. We might see the same horse. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see Mount Rainier and everything that's associated with that as well. From Mount Rainier, we head south until we get to Bend, Oregon. And this is where the family event is. My wife's sister and her family live in Bend. So we are going to visit them with the in-laws, of course, and spend a few days in Bend. Now, one of my favorite memories of all time is we were preparing for a half marathon years ago, and I was running along the Deschutes River. They've got a trail there. Absolutely gorgeous with the river running and the pine trees, and absolutely beautiful there. So we really love our time in Bend. What I haven't seen there yet is the last remaining Blockbuster. So that is a place that I would love to visit here when we go to Bend. The trip out of Bend is something that I am looking forward to probably as much as any part of this trip, but I'm also dreading it probably as much as any part of because the drive from Bend, we're going to go south into California and hit Crescent City, which is kind of the northern end of the Redwood Forest. I've been wanting to see the Redwood Forest my entire life, and I've never had the chance to do it until now. So we're going to go to the Redwood Forest. It's like a 6 or 7 hour drive from Bend to Crescent City. Then you go through the Redwood Forest, and that night we're staying in San Francisco, which is another 6 or 7 hour drive. That day would be 13 hours of nonstop driving, but we aren't doing nonstop driving. We are stopping. I don't know, me and my father-in-law are going to have to tag team a bit. Maybe one of the gals will want to drive too, but that'll be a long driving day but with some absolutely gorgeous things to see. Once in San Francisco, I have never seen the Golden Gate Bridge other than out of the window of a plane, so we do plan on seeing that. And then my son, Jared, is absolutely obsessed with NBA basketball. His favorite basketball player is Steph Curry. He is completely convinced that Steph Curry is sitting outside of the arena waiting for us to come, and I'm not going to tell him any different. From San Francisco, we head south along the Pacific Coast Highway. There are a lot of sights to see along that drive. It should be pretty epic until we hit Anaheim, California, and that is where Disney comes into play. So we are going to spend time at Universal Studios and Disney in California. The kids should love this. Again, being with their grandparents, I think it's going to be an absolutely magical experience. After a few days in Anaheim, we are going to head back in the direction of home. We're going to go through Las Vegas. I don't see us spending a lot of time in Las Vegas. It's not the most kid-friendly place from my experience, but they do have that new dome or orb casino. I don't remember what it's called or whatever it is. That'll be exciting to see. And then we're going to stay in Mesquite that night. From Mesquite, we are going to cross into southern Utah with the beautiful red rocks, go through St. George. And if you notice, I did do a video about a mini road trip that Jared and I took where we stopped in Beaver, Utah at the Creamery. So now Caitlin and the girls will get to experience the Creamery for the first time, and we'll hopefully have some good ice cream until we get back to Midway, Utah, where the in-laws live. And we're going to drop them off in Midway to conclude the first step of this journey. And after that, the family and I, without the in-laws, will continue on to steps 2 through 4. So make sure you check out those videos, and yeah, we will see you over there.